Hi, I'm Art Zimmet. Welcome to the second in a three-part series about the importance of using proper child safety seats when you're driving in your vehicle. This series was inspired by the tragic events that happened on the highway near Orlando when the Nales family flew into Orlando from New York to attend a family reunion. The Nales family was driving on Florida's Turnpike when a tire on the van they were driving in blew and the van flipped. 3 people were ejected from the vehicle and other people were seriously injured. The 3 people that were ejected were not wearing their seatbelt. One of those people was a 9-month-old boy who was not restrained in his child safety seat, and the seat itself was not restrained within the vehicle. These events highlight the importance of wearing your seatbelt and of properly installing your child safety seat and properly harnessing your child in the seat. These simple steps can go a long way in ensuring your safety and the safety of your child when you're driving on Florida's roads and highways. The United States has some of the most dangerous roads in the world. Every 13 minutes, a traffic fatality occurs on the roads of the U.S. The one simple step of properly using your seatbelt, properly installing your child's safety seat, and properly harnessing your child in that seat can go a long way in reducing the risk of your injuries and your child's injuries in the event of a car accident. In fact, using proper child safety seats reduces your child's risk of injury up to 80%. That bears repeating. Just using a child safety seat properly and harnessing your child in that seat properly reduces your child's risk of injury by 80%. In part 1 of this series, we talked about how to determine which type of child safety seat is appropriate for your child. For the most part, it is determined by the height and weight of your child. There are different types of safety seats, and they are appropriate for your child as your child grows out of one safety seat into another. In the first part of the series, we talked about the rear-facing child safety seats, and now we'll talk about the forward-facing child safety seats. One important thing to remember, no matter what type of child safety seat you're using, is that the safety seat's head must be at least 1 inch above your child's head. If it is not, in the event of an accident, your child can experience head and neck injury. Always make sure you've properly installed your child's safety seat snugly and tightly. If you can move the seat 1 inch forward or backward or side to side, that's too much. You haven't installed the child's safety seat tightly enough, and you need to make sure it's installed more snugly. Another tip, be sure the child's harness is at or above their shoulders. Again, injury can occur in the event of an accident if the harnesses are not at that position. Be sure to check the instructions for your child's safety seat to make sure that you've run the seat belts through the proper holes. Some seats are convertible and they can either face forward or backward. In the event that your seat is facing forward, make sure the straps are running through the proper holes for the seat to face in that direction. Also, all vehicles newer than September of 2000 have tether straps that you can attach to the top of the child's safety seat to keep your child's head from moving too far in the event of an accident. If you do not have a child safety seat tether, make sure you get the one from your manufacturer. Do not install a tether from the manufacturer of a different child safety seat. All children who are younger than 13 really should be riding in the back of your vehicle. However, that's not always possible. Sometimes you may be transporting more children that can fit in the back seat safely. You really do not want to put too many children in the back seat. In that event, the best person to be sitting in the front seat is a child who is in a forward-facing child safety seat. If you have to do that, make sure the passenger seat is moved back as far as you can. The goal is to get the child as far away from the airbags as possible. Remember, these safety precautions are simple and should be followed by everyone who drives your child, not just you. So if someone else is driving your child to school, or if a daycare provider is for some reason driving your child, make sure they're following the same precautions. Make sure they have the appropriate child safety seat for your child and his or her height and weight. Also, if it's a daycare facility, make sure that they have written protocols that outline the safety precautions that they're going to be taking when they're driving your children. Make sure that they require driver's licenses. Make sure that they have the appropriate staff-to-child ratios so that one adult is not driving several children and they cannot supervise them while they're driving. Remember, if you or a loved one have been injured, you might not need a lawyer. But before you sign any forms, talk to an insurance adjuster, or hire a lawyer, do yourself a favor, get the free books and information available at our website. www.zqlawyers.com. That's zqlawyers.com. It's free and you won't be disappointed.